The Big 12. Where's Jackson Nicholas? He's not in the lineup tonight. Still trying to deal with a hamstring issue. Did some batting practice. We might see him in a pinch hit role, but he's not in the starting group tonight. It's Walk, Modron, Carmichael, Snyder, McKenzie, Pettis, Mulder, Willits, and Lane. Lane getting the start at second base. That's the group for Oklahoma. Gary, the keys for the Sooners.
Well, they need to focus at-bat to at-bat. Coach Johnson said it's easy to say but hard to do, and that was the theme for the recent sweep over Kansas State. And big innings, Oklahoma had at least one big inning during their last series, and that special inning made the difference last week.
Here's the BYU defense tonight. Riker Scow out in left field. Riker Hertzman back in the lineup in center. Luke Anderson over in right. Easton Jones, Brock Watkins, Crew Robinson, Cooper Vest. The infield with Colin Reuter behind the plate to support Mason Olson, the senior out of Spanish Fork, Utah, making his first start this season. He's got 18 appearances out of the bullpen, an ERA of 3.03. He's 2-1, allowing 14 runs on 28 hits, 13 walks to 47 strikeouts. That's what Trent Pratt likes. His first start since May 18th of 2023. So Mason Olson, the lefty, spirited fella, will get the start for BYU. He will face Jason Walk, freshman out of Ackworth, Georgia. 10 times these teams have met, never on the home field. They've all been neutral sites. Tonight that ends here in Provo, and ball one for Jason Walk, hitting .261. When he gets on base, Walk runs 9 of 10 stolen bases. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, they're 1, 2, and 3 hitters. 9 of 10, 9 of 10, and 7 of 10. They will steal.
Olson has a curveball up near, or a fastball up near 93. His strikeout pitch is a slider, and he throws a changeup. 2-1 to Walk. And right over to Crew Robinson. One away.
Well, it's one thing about Mason Olson is he does throw strikes, and he's been kind of the setup reliever throughout this year, and he's done just a great job, and now he's starting, giving him an opportunity in this series.
Trent Pratt, 55 and 55, second full season. 2.5 seasons in his young career as Bryce Madron takes a strike. He's a senior out of Blanchard, Oklahoma, hitting .323. When he gets on base, he scores. He scored 45 times to lead the Sooners. With 30 walks, also team leader, very patient at the plate. Looks down to third base line and a strike. Casey Moser's behind the plate. A.J. Wendell's at first. Jeff Spisek is at second. That was Ben Harlow signaling a strike on Madron. Now it's the chopper. This is Watkins, the shortstop, playing over at second as they had the shift on, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a ground ball. It would have been directly to the second baseman under normal situations. But BYU will shift to many batters. They will put 3 players, defensive players, on one side of the base.
Now it's Easton Carmichael, a sophomore out of Prosper, Texas, hitting .362. Mason Olson, the starter tonight. Trent Pratt's just looking for somebody to get them going on a Thursday. This has been a rough night of the week for the BYU pitching staff. Ball 2. And Skip Johnson in his 7th season at Oklahoma, 210 wins. He's also the pitching coach. Here's a line ground ball. Watkins in the dirt. Picks up the air as Cooper Vest can't scoop it up. And the mistake puts Carmichael on first base.
Well, that was a fairly simple play, a 2-hop grounder over the short. Watkins takes his time and throws over there. But when you throw in front of the first baseman, if it's more than just a foot or so, Cooper Vest is tremendous at scooping that. But more than a foot, it's really hard to tell. Sometimes you got to really take a lucky stab at it.
Carmichael leading off at first. Michael Snyder at the plate. Where BYU's Big 12 opponents have really hurt the Cougars is when they've been given an extra out. Ball one. Snyder's a grad student out of Woodland Hills, California. Washington transfer, hitting .321 on the year. Tied with the team lead with 7 home runs. They throw back to first.
Yeah, as a graduate transfer over at Washington, he was a third baseman. Started 53 games, and tonight he's over there at first base.
Hard hit into center field. And Carmichael takes a big turn, takes a look at third. And now first and second with 2 outs for Anthony McKenzie.
And you hear the little chatter in the fans there. The one that says, "Make it hurt, Anthony." You know, and with an error there, first and second. They come up here with McKenzie, and he's got 4 home runs on the season. Seems like everybody on the team at starting has at least 3 home runs.
Ball one for Olsen. McKenzie started at Sam Houston State before coming over to Norman. Sooners are 6-3 on the road. There's ball 2. All this starting with the throwing error for Watkins. 2 on, 2 out. So McKenzie, a senior out of Houston. There's a strike. Oklahoma swept Kansas State over the weekend. Next weekend, they got Texas. 2-1. Gets the corner. 2-2. Foul tip to stay alive. BYU swept last weekend by Baylor. And a couple of errors cost them a couple of games. But the Bears came in and just, when they needed a hit, they got a hit. When they needed a pitch, they got a pitch. And they picked up all 3 wins. Another foul by McKenzie. Before Baylor, Kansas came in and won all 3. The Jayhawk pitching just stifled the BYU bats. So it's been a while since the Cougars won a Big 12 game here at Miller Park. Here's the 2-2. Hard hit into left field. Carmichael rounds third and will score standing up. Back-to-back singles for Oklahoma, and it's 1-0.
There's a fastball that time, 92 miles an hour, but you look at that, a little bit up in the zone. And even though the shift was on, he was able to put it between the short and third baseman, and making that error hurt a little bit there for the first run of the game.
Kendall Pettis, a senior out of Chicago, at the plate. Misses outside. All this happening with 2 outs. Pettis knows some big games. He was in left field in the national championship game back in 2022. Hitting .258 coming into Provo tonight. 1-1. Chopper to Jones, over to first. The Sooners leave 2, but they get 1 on the BYU error. And the Cougars down 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Designated hitter Brock Watkins, Bryker Hertzman, Crew Robinson, and the freshman Riker Scow. The keys for BYU.
Well, they need to get a quality start. Oklahoma averaged over 10 runs per game last week, and Mason Olsen must contain the Oklahoma bats. And timely hits, BYU batters came through with several timely hits in their last 2 games against Baylor and scored a lot of runs. So that's going to be a key.
Let's set the Oklahoma defense. Pettis is out in left. Walk is in center. Madron holding down right field. McKenzie, Willits, Lane, Snyder, and Mulder the infield to support Braden Davis, junior out of Keller, Texas. Comes in with a fastball near 92, a slider, a curve, and a change. He's 3-3 in 9 starts. That's the most starts on the Sooner roster. An ERA of 5.52. Leads the team with 56 strikeouts. Anderson comes in hitting 288. On Tuesday, in BYU's win over Utah Tech, he went 0 for 4 with a run batted in. Leads the Cougars in doubles, in walks, second in strikeouts. Now Davis winds up and fires one in high for ball 1. The Sooners lead the series 8-2. All the previous games at neutral sites. There's a strike. Riverside, Honolulu, Las Vegas for a bunch of them, and Tempe, Arizona. Their last meeting was way back in 2015 in Las Vegas. The first meeting, 1971. Ball 2. When did you come to BYU?
I was there and played football in 73 and 74, so I came in 72. So, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time before the shiny era. 2-2 is Luke Anderson. BYU just 6-8 here at home. Better record on the road. Strike 3, and there's one away. .42nd strikeout on the season for Anderson.
You take that, it was a changeup, 80-mile-an-hour changeup on the outside part of the plate. Perfect pitch that time for Braden Davis.
Now Easton Jones leads the Cougars with 9 home runs. Batting .307. And he goes after that one as well. And a clean miss. Jones was 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in back on Tuesday.
I was talking with their radio broadcaster before the game, and I said, what can you tell us about Braden Davis? He says, you'll see a lot of swing and misses. He just makes the batters swing and miss often, so he's got good stuff.
0-2. And Jones with a single. One of the more reliable hitters for BYU, the sophomore out of Lehigh, Utah.
Well, look at this pitch, just caught too much of the plate right down the middle, and you can't throw that to Easton Jones because he'll send it the other direction, and he does for a base hit.
Now it's Colin Reuter. His .320 average is the best on the roster. 1 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in on Tuesday night.
And you better believe, Dave, that the Oklahoma players know this guy because he hit 3 home runs in the last game against Texas, one of their arch rivals.
Here's the 1-0. Right back to Davis. Out at second, out at first. It was an unconventional double play, but the Sooners turn it. And we've played 1 complete. And Oklahoma has a 1-0 lead. Rudo, top of the second inning. Oklahoma 1 and BYU nothing. It's a busy night here at the ballpark. Right behind us at Gale Miller Field, BYU and Iowa State are playing in softball. So we got noise from behind us, noise in front of us, and that makes for a energetic night as Scott Mudler takes strike 1. .61 junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia. Northwest Florida State College before coming over. Pops it up. And Cooper Vest comes in, calls everybody off, makes the catch. 1 away.
Yeah, that one you had the pitcher first, Mason Olson calls it. Then the catcher, Reuter, tries to move everybody away, but it's easier for that first baseman to come in and make that catch.
Oklahoma's softball team will host Houston Friday through Sunday. 3-time defending national champs. They took the series against BYU 2-1 last week in Norman, but not before the Cougars handed the Sooners their first Big 12 home loss in 7 years. And that was something to celebrate. Swing and a miss by Willits, and 0-2, freshman out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. Misses on the outside corner just barely. Big 12 tennis championships are underway. Oklahoma defeated Baylor 4-0 earlier today. BYU and Texas Tech are playing right now, as Willits swings and misses and strikes out. 2 down. Those matches on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. BYU the 5 seed, Texas Tech the 4 seed. And the Red Raiders have a 1-0 lead. Winner plays on, the loser is done for the season. Isaiah Lane looks at a strike.
Isaiah Lane, the second baseman that made that heads-up play for the double play. You can see Davis was trying to throw it over to Willits, but it's a terrible throw. And Isaiah Lane was just kind of backing up the play, and it goes right to him. And he quickly steps on the bag and turns a double play. So a heady guy and in the right position at the right time for a freshman there.
Chula Vista, California, hitting 290. And he gets one down the line in right field and heads for second base. Anderson with the throw. It's in time, and he's out. Great throw by Luke Anderson. Watkins on the tag. Lane is out at the bag, and the Cougars head to the bottom of the second. The Y on Y Mountain on a beautiful Thursday spring evening here in Provo. Bottom of the second inning, Cooper Vest is at the plate. Oklahoma leading 1-0. Lefty against a lefty, and Braden Davis throws a strike.
There's that 78-mile-an-hour change curve. Beautiful pitch. Had Cooper Vest a little bit off balance there. Wasn't expecting that one.
Vest is a junior out of St. George, Utah. Hitting 256. Looks at another strike. 7 home runs on the year. 1 shy of his season total from last year. And this one bounces away from the catcher.
Right now you have the shadow. You can see the pitcher, Braden Davis. The shadow is about 5 feet away from the pitcher's mound. Little timeout here. Get a ball that came onto the field. And so it's tough to pick up the ball early in this game.
1-2. Over to first. Into the glove of Snyder. 1 away. The Big 12 Championships Women's Golf underway at Houston Oaks Country Club. Winner will be crowned on Saturday. Oklahoma tied for 10th. BYU all the way at the bottom, with Texas a 2-stroke lead after the first 18 holes. Kahio Aloy, a freshman out of Maui, Hawaii, steps in. He was 1 for 2 with an RBI on Tuesday. He's hitting 288 on the year. And now down in the count, 0-2.
Well, you saw Braden Davis working a lot of slow changeups and that sort of thing. But today, that last pitch, it was 93 miles an hour, so he can bring it.
0-2 pitch. Aloy with 6 home runs and 7 doubles. He leads the Cougars with 29 RBI. Brock Watkins is on deck. You see Davis working into the sun, throwing into the shade. Strike 3. 2 down.
That's 82-mile-an-hour change curve on the outside part of the plate. Almost more like a little screwball. It kind of breaks tails away from the batter. And that's what we've been told. You see a lot of swing and misses off of Braden Davis pitches.
Here's Brock Watkins, a junior out of Pleasant Grove, Utah. Into the screen, hitting .231. Last series, he was back after missing a month with a shoulder issue. Missed all but 8 games last year. And that run on the board is tagged to him after that error at shortstop. We'll see if he can make amends. Down on the count 0-2. And the shift to 3 infielders working the left side. 1, 2, 3 go the Cougars as Braden Davis is making it look really easy. 3rd inning coming up. 1-0 Oklahoma. Here on Big 12 now. Get up near number 10. Oklahoma starts tonight's game tied for first. And Jason Walk, who popped out his first time up, is back for his second look at Mason Olson. Strike 1. BYU will stay home and have the University of Utah here on Tuesday night. 1-2.
That was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Walk was way behind that one.
Strike 3. And there's 1 down. And Bryce Madron coming back.
There's that change curve. It has a sharp break to it. It was down and in. Beautiful pitch.
Great camera work by our crew scattered around the ballpark tonight. Vest. Nice hop into the glove. 2 down. Second ground out for Madron.
That was the 3rd inning in a row that Mason Olson, the pitcher for BYU, has got the first 2 outs against Oklahoma. In the first inning, an error got the rally started, and then back-to-back hits scored a run. So Mason Olson's done a great job early in this game getting the first 2 hitters out.
It was Carmichael who reached on the air, and he's after the first pitch. Vest running it down and running out of room. It's just a long strike.
You can see Olson grabbing his arm after that. That kept his arm straight. He's trying to loosen it up there. Still shaking
No
it.
trainer running out to him. Let's see about this pitch. Oh, yeah. He's got some trouble.
That's it.
And he is frustrated. And out will come Abe Alvarez. This is the best arm out of the bullpen for BYU. Here's the initial pitch where he pulled up lame. And now the trainer's out. Trent Pratt's coming out. And Mason Olson is all kinds of upset. And his night has come to an end.
Yeah, you can see that frustration. He's such a competitor, such a good pitcher, such a good, done such a good job there. You can see the frustration on his face there.
We'll go to break and introduce the new arm who's going to get plenty of time to warm up. Significant loss with Mason Olson leaving here in the 3rd inning. We're back with more after this.
Build your future and Florida's tomorrow with a job in road and bridge construction. Competitive pay and great benefits. Start building your career with Florida Road Jobs today. Visit Florida Road.
This is Camden Daly, 6'6" junior out of Blackfoot, Idaho. 2-2 on the season. This is his 15th appearance. Got a couple of starts, ERA of 5.56. And again, he'll get plenty of throws as Mason Olson leaves the game with an arm injury. And we hate to speculate. We just know it didn't look good.
Yeah,
his reaction, immediate reaction with tears, and as upset as he was, seems to confirm that we won't know officially until they get it checked out, but upset as he left the field.
Well, I know that feeling, Dave. You know, you could just see the pitch before. Kind of surprised that they didn't go out because maybe they didn't see it.
Yeah, they climbed back up on the hill like he was good to go.
Yeah, trying to hide it a little bit there, and then as you can see the pitch, it went to miss the plate by about 30 feet, and you just saw the frustration. You go back to take a look at this here, and you can see he just holds his arm right after that pitch. Here's a look at it. Oh, and there's his arm. It just holding that arm in the next pitch.
So yeah, he shakes it off and indicates that he's okay, and so they let him throw another one, and then just his reaction here, frustration of getting healthy, trying to stay healthy, and we'll see what Trent Pratt can tell us a couple innings when he joins us from the bullpen. There's Easton Jones looking on. National semifinals are underway tonight in women's gymnastics for #1 Oklahoma. There are 8 teams left, divided into 2 sets of 4. The top 2 teams from each group will advance to Sunday in the 4 on the floor for the national title. And the Sooners are seeking their 3rd straight championship.
Well, every time you look at something from Oklahoma, you think something's good. They just have a great athletic department there. They're good in basketball, football, baseball, everything that you've talked about there too. It's a great university.
Talking with Skip Johnson, I asked him, everyone's just focused on the game, and tonight's an important game. We get all that. But how do you not start thinking about the Southeastern Conference? And he goes, well, I'm not saying I haven't thought about it. You're going to go into new places, and stadiums are packed. I don't know if the baseball is any better, and he didn't either. He said the Big 12 has been a fantastic baseball league for years. And this Sooner team is more than prepared to go into the SEC and play baseball, but that's what's up ahead. They'll join officially this summer, and then next season, instead of playing BYU, they'll be dealing with Alabama and Florida, Georgia, some of those guys.
Well, and they're doing some work on their baseball stadium too. They're really upgrading it, and there's going to be some really good changes there. And the crowd that they got during the Kansas State series that had 2,100 in the first game, but the second game on a Friday night or Saturday night was 4,011. So they've got some good crowds there, and they'll probably see some good crowds here at Larry Miller Field today. You're probably into over 2,000, but come back tomorrow, Friday night, usually is a good crowd, and they may set some type of record to watch these 2 teams play.
Big news out of the state of Utah today. The NHL Board of Governors formally approved the relocation of the Arizona Coyotes to Utah. The team will begin playing next season in the Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City. BYU grad Ryan Smith and his wife now own an NBA and an NHL franchise here in the Beehive State. So Easton Carmichael's at bat resumes, and the ball by Daly makes the count 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Hard hit, left field, bounces in front of Riker Scow. Not so sure he picked up on it. Waving at the sun out there, and it's a single for Carmichael.
Well, you've got to play Carmichael deep because he's got 7 home runs on the season, so you got to respect that. And had he been playing in his normal position, that probably would have been right to him. But look at the sun. It comes right in his eyes. It's a tough time of the day out there in left field to judge a ball.
Michael Snyder back up. He singled his first time up. Dolly pitching from the stretch. Nice lead by Carmichael. Off the plate, ball 1.
Carmichael 7 for 10 on the season in steals. So with 2 out here, you may see him at some point in this pitch count taking off.
This is an emotional challenge for BYU, losing their pitcher to an arm injury. Ball 2 by Daly.
Well, Dowley came out. He didn't have any warm-up pitches in the bullpen. He just came when you get in there for someone, a pitcher that's injured. You get your own time to get ready, but you had to get ready quickly.
And with a strike, that's 93 miles an hour. 2-1 to Snyder. Skip Johnson said this Snyder kid, he's just fun to be around. Transferred from Washington, but fit right into the program, which is a challenge for any newcomer as he fouls that one out of play. And the count's 2-2.
Yeah, how are these numbers right here that you think about his last year at Washington? He had 49 runs batted in, scored 36 runs, hit 11 home runs, started 53 games, so he's just quite an experienced player.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Nope, throw back over to first.
Well, this might be the pitch that you see Carmichael taking off.
Check swing, couldn't hold it, swings through it. Dowley gets the strikeout. The Sooners leave one. The Cougars lose their starting pitcher. All that happening in the top of the third. 6'4" sophomore from St. George, Utah, steps into the batter's box, hitting .271. Didn't play on Tuesday. He's had a wrist issue, so they gave him some rest. Shows bunt and takes a strike. Served a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints over in Fort Collins, Colorado. Not seeing that one. 0-2.
Well, Braden Davis has just been living on that outside corner. He's been able to throw that pitch anytime he wants to. It's 80 to 81 miles an hour, just kind of a change curve.
Misses there. Hertzman won't chase it. Ball one.
Well, that's the waste pitch, and now he's going to come back probably with that change curve on the outside part of the plate.
Junior out of Keller, Texas, 5'11". Off to a good start. Another strikeout. Not even a foul ball on that trip to the plate.
Just a perfect pitch. You know, he throws the one ball, fastball, just to, change the eye level and speed. And that ball right there on the outside part of the plate, it's 80 miles an hour, and it's out of the zone, so a tough pitch to hit.
Crew Robinson hitting 200. 1 for 3 with a run batted in on Tuesday night. He's a grad student out of Cedar Hills, Utah. One and one. One and two. Just misses. 2-2. Robinson has 4 home runs, 7 doubles, a couple of triples. Also plagued with 36 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. Ball 3. Freshman Riker Scow is on deck. Here with 1 out.
There you see the sun in the eyes right there of Davis. Just about over the pitcher's mound there. It's just about where he won't be in the sun anymore.
And Robinson goes to right field, and it is deep, interest foul. Count stays full, and Crew comes back to the plate. Was at UC San Diego last year. Spent a couple years there in Paradise. Before that, 2 years at the College of Southern Idaho. Picked up his degree, got the transfer portal, and the local product from Cedar Hills, Utah, finishing up playing for BYU.
Yeah, he's a Lone Peak Knight. And he helped the Tritons to a 2023 Big West Conference Championship at UC San Diego.
3-2. Ball 4. A nice at bat for Robinson, who wins a walk and heads down to first.
second base runner that Davis has put on today, but it's only one hit in the first inning and one walk here in the third inning.
Now Scow, who's 1 for 3, he scored 3 times on Tuesday. His average is up to 225. Seeing playing time, Keone Painter is cleared to run, play defense. Jammed up his non-throwing hand into the first base bag. And he is out of the lineup tonight. But like Nicholas, we could see him in some kind of role later on. But that's allowed Riker Scow to get a lot of time lately out in left field.
Crew Robinson over there at first, 2 for 3 on the season in stolen bases.
Davis looking over, now comes home. Strike 2. Top of the order, Luke Anderson on deck. And that one way past Mudler. And over to second base goes Robinson.
Well, you see, there's not a lot of distance from where the catcher is catching and the backstop. And a lot of times, if you get a runner on third, the ball will come right back like it did for Mudler. You got to be careful on third on pass balls here. I think that's a wild pitch right there. That was not very easy to handle.
1-2. Strike 3, another strikeout for Davis. And that brings Anderson up with 2 outs.
So you look at that, just a little bit out of the zone, but he gets close enough that you have to swing with 2 strikes.
5 strikeouts already for Braden Davis. That gives him 61 on the year. Anderson struck out his first time up. Here's his second look. Crew Robinson at second. 1-0 Oklahoma. Strike 1. Nice block by Mudler. That keeps Robinson over at second. Great weather ahead for the rest of the series. Tonight will be the coolest. It'll be back better tomorrow and Saturday afternoon. 1-1. Strike 2. Davis comes in. Strike 3. It's Harry Potter night here at the ballpark, and Braden Davis has the Cougar hitters under his spell. We go to the 4th. Dave McCann, Gary Shiny. Our pleasure to welcome Skip Johnson to Provo for the first time. 7th year Oklahoma head coach. Welcome, Coach.
How are you guys?
Well, we're watching a pitcher's duel and a great show so far from Braden Davis. What do you like?
I mean, just trying to be himself. That's the biggest thing, you know, just try to be yourself and make one pitch at a time.
Well, that last Kansas State series you had, Coach, you guys, you look pretty darn good in that.
Yeah, we played good, played with some energy, and played with a little bit of edge, which is really always good.
We aren't speculating on Mason Olson, the BYU pitcher that went out with that injury, but you've been a pitching coach forever.
Yeah.
What do you think you saw?
Yeah, I mean, it's something, his elbow, and I hate to see that, kids today. I mean, you know, you can see what kind of competitor he is by watching videos coming here. I was really interested to watch him pitch because he pitches with his heart. When you watch a kid pitch like that, you feel what he feels because he's so competitive, and you hate to see that. And one thing about those elbows, if it's his elbow, they'll come back. I mean, that's one good thing about the year we're living in today. They'll usually come back from it.
McKenzie with a leadoff single. That brings up Pettis. Foul on the bunt. McKenzie will run back to first. Your pitcher has got these Cougar batters under a spell. He's hitting the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to mix and match as we go through it. And, I mean, they're very aggressive and they're very good and well coached.
You know, Coach, you guys really like to steal. I'm looking at your numbers here, and you guys just create havoc on the bases. That's got to be pretty tough as a pitching coach to watch your guys just go.
Well, the ideal of offense is to get the pitcher out of the rhythm, and the ideal of defense and pitching is to get the hitter out of the rhythm. So, I mean, this guy that's sitting to my right, he played here in A-ball back in the day and played in the big leagues with the Angels. He's a good base runner and good offensive guy, Reggie Willits. So blessed to have him on our staff, and we'll see how it goes.
Ball one to Kendall Pettis, who grounded out his first time up. Coach, Sooner Nation saddened today by the passing of longtime women's golf coach and athletics administrator Dr. Carol Ludvigsen. 40 years on campus, a difference maker, and I know she'll be greatly missed.
Yeah, our hearts are really heavy right now. I mean, she always brought a bright spot to everybody around her. That was what was so awesome about her. She was a great lady and a great representative of the University of Oklahoma, how she went about her business, and she loved athletes and she loved people, and that's what really is sad day at OU for sure, and our hearts are really heavy for her and her family.
Coach, we'll look forward to visiting with you throughout the series. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, guys.
Skip Johnson, head coach at Oklahoma, 210 wins. You saw Pettis get hit by a pitch, and now the bunt by Mudler. Daly throws to first. Bare hands that play. A nice play by Daly. The runners move over, so Mudler does his job, and there's one away.
Yeah, that was a perfect bunt. You know, he made the pitcher field it, and third baseman had to try to retrieve to get back to third. Couldn't do that, so it was a perfect sacrifice bunt.
Now Willits, freshman of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, struck out his first time up. Facing Mason Olson. Now he's got to look at Camden Daly. McKenzie is at third, and Pettis is at second with a big leadoff. The infield is in. Ball one. Cougars will come home if they can. Try to keep this deficit at 1. 5 hits for the Sooners, just 1 for BYU. The lone run, the product of an error. This one, little blooper into shallow center. It'll fall. McKenzie will score. Pettis comes in to score. It's 3-0 Oklahoma as Willits gets it done. A 2-run single into no man's land and into the sunshine. And it's 3-zip.
Well, when the fielders are in, that's a pitch a little bit up in the zone. There's no chance to get that short little pop-up, just a little bloop. And just the old saying, hit it where they ain't. And that's exactly what happened there to Willits. He's going to drive in 2 runs with that little blooper.
And we saw Baylor do this, and we saw Kansas do this. Just nickel and dimes. And now the Sooners are up 3 with Willits over at first base. So the strategic huddle up here. And now Willits will go back to the bag, and Isaiah Lane steps up to the plate. 1 out here in the 4th inning.
We're talking probably about a situation here. They may have Isaiah Lane try to bunt here, and he's got good speed. Might be able to beat it out, but the leadoff hitter is on deck, Jason Walk.
Lane singled his first time up, that was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Shows bunt, backs out of it. Herdsman in center field underneath it. And there's 2 down.
Well, you see that a lot in Little League and sometimes in the major leagues where you fake that bunt, draw the infielders in, and then hit it into the gaps there. And Isaiah Lane hit it hard, but he hit it right at Herdsman out in center.
Jason Walk, his 3rd time up. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. Fouls this one out of play. Yeah, this is the witching hour in left field, even in center with the sun going down. And then there'll be a period where it's the twilight, and that's tough for the fielders. And then it'll be perfect.
Yeah, but then you go to the other side of the field. BYU women's softball is playing Iowa State today. And what you have in that field is you have a sun delay, because sometimes the sun, it goes down just enough that the batters can't see it, so they'll have to wait 10 or 15 minutes for a sun delay. So the sun comes into play here at Miller Field.
1-1. Into left field. Scow is out there, backing up, tracks it down, and makes the catch. Oklahoma strikes for 2 more. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Provo. And the Sooners lead BYU 3-0. Jones, see Texas. That's tomorrow in Stillwater. Here in Provo, bottom of the 4th inning. Oklahoma leads BYU 3-0. Easton Jones is back at the plate. He's got the lone Cougar hit so far. Single into left center. And he looks at ball 1. There's ball 2. But one thing Davis has had BYU doing the first 3 innings is going fast and catching the Cougars impatient at the plate, piling up strikeouts.
Right, and swinging at balls that are not over the plate, because he has such good control.
Ball 3.
That's 3 times in a row that Davis has tried to throw that little changeup curve 80 miles an hour. Hasn't shown the fastball yet to Easton Jones.
Jones taken all the way. 3-1. Colin Reuter on deck for the Cougars. 43rd pitch for Davis. That one 91. This one's outside, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for BYU.
Well, we haven't seen Davis miss many pitches. That's the first time that BYU's earned a walk with their leadoff hitter there.
Reuter grounded into a double play his first time up. That ended the first inning. Olive Branch, Mississippi. That one's high. Jones gets back. The throw down to first is a chance to see Mudler's arm for the first time.
That's a good one. I've seen him in the warm-ups right as he throws down to second. Boy, he's got a quick release. Gets it down there in a hurry.
Strike. 1-1. Reuter with 5 home runs. Got those 3 a couple weeks ago in the Saturday game against Texas. Stayed in the park ever since. Ball 2. Two and 2. Jones over at first. Here's the 2-2. Right past him. Strike 3.
Yeah, it was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside part of the plate. And that's one that Reuter typically likes. But he's behind it, kind of thinking about it's going to be that another one with changed curves.
Vest is back in. He grounded out his first time up. 1 out here in the 4th. Strike 1.
You can see Davis being very close, very careful with Cooper Vest. He has 7 home runs on the season, and he's been hot lately.
Outside. Nice frame effort by Mudler. 1-1 to count. A leadoff walk by Jones, a strikeout by Reuter. Vest to center field. Fighting the sun, waiting for it, is Jason Walk, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, you can see Jason Watt put his glove up there to try to shade his eyes a little bit. Finds it easily.
Aloy back up for BYU. He struck out his first time up. So here's another look for the freshman. Braden Davis looking very comfortable tonight. 2 down. Strike one.
It's one thing Davis does. You know, the best pitch in baseball is strike one. And he gets strike one often in this game.
Outside. We've seen Aloy hit some bombs here as a true freshman. Swing and a miss, strike two.
It's that beautiful change curve there, 82 miles an hour. He keeps it between 80 and 82, and he can just locate it.
We've also seen him strike out 39 times. Here's the 1-2. Stays alive. Davis has thrown the most innings out of any of the 22 Oklahoma pitchers. One and two. Got him again. Cougars leave one. Strand a leadoff walk. We go to the fifth. Oklahoma 3, BYU nothing. Here on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus.
Build your future and Florida's tomorrow with a job in road and bridge construction. Competitive pay and great benefits.
Top of the fifth inning. BYU and Oklahoma. Game one of the 3-game weekend series. The Sooners are up 3-0. 6 hits to just 1 for BYU as Bryce Madron is back in the box. And it's ball 1 from Camden Daly. Our pleasure to be joined by BYU head coach Trent Pratt in the Cougar dugout. Coach, before we start with your current pitcher, let's begin with Mason Olson. What do you know on that, what looked like some left side arm injury?
Yeah, nothing yet. We'll get evaluated tomorrow and kind of go from there. So hopefully everything checks out okay and it's something minor and we can get him back soon.
Kind of an emotional punch to the gut for the whole team to see him go out.
Yeah, he's kind of our emotional leader out there. Has been all year. So, but hey, he's out. Canada's doing a good job. We got to find a way, to be better at the plate and get a couple guys on base and move them around.
What's your opinion so far, Braden Davis there, Coach? He seems to have that control of putting that outside curveball right on the
He's
corner.
throwing a bunch of changeups to our right-handers, and he's throwing a lot of them, and we got to make an adjustment and hit something to right field, or the same result's going to happen if we keep doing the same thing.
One thing we've seen as Madron goes to the gap, chased down by Scow, and he'll have a leadoff double. One thing we've seen as your batters come back second, third time, when they're more patient, better things happen, but it seems like good pitchers can get you sped up.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. That changeup's working, and he's throwing it for strikes, he's throwing it for balls, so it makes it kind of tough. So, but we got to figure him out soon.
Trent Pratt in the dugout. We'll let you get back to work.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Easton Carmichael is back at the plate. Madron's over at second. And you can hear the concern in Trent Pratt's voice on a couple of things. One, Mason Olson. And then two, finding a way to get to Braden Davis.
Exactly. It's like he says, they're going to have to make some type of adjustment. They're going to have to be going to right field because that ball that Davis can put on the outside part of the plate, you can't pull that one. Sometimes you even got to move up to the plate a little bit closer, so you can reach that pitch and make Davis make an adjustment. So we'll see as the day goes on here.
0-2 to Carmichael. Reached on an air and singled. Watkins Long throw from short, not enough on it. Carmichael beats it out for an infield single, and there's 2 on and nobody out. Second hit of the game for Carmichael.
Yeah, very good play by Watkins that time. He got it, got rid of it in a hurry on the run. He couldn't plant his foot and threw a pretty good throw over to first, but Carmichael just beat it out.
I thought Jones might have gone after that, but that would have opened up third base for Madron to run over uncontested. So here's Snyder, a single and a strikeout so far. They check it down the line, ball 1. You know, the Cougars, as they struggle against Braden Davis at the plate, can ill afford to allow any more Oklahoma runs. It's already 3-0. Outside, ball 2.
Well, you can see with no outs here, they did not have Snyder even think about bunting here. Snyder's a big guy, 6'4", 226, so good size up there.
2-0. Down the line, foul. Out of play, 2-1. Well, Mason Olson, prior to tonight's start, his first of the season, he was the setup man for the closer Stone Cushing. So see what role, how that turns out over the weekend if BYU gets an opportunity. It'll be somebody else. We know that for sure. 3-1.
Well, that last line drive that went right up there, the fans looked like they might have thrown a drink.
No, it broke a light above them.
Oh, okay.
And it sent some debris down, and they're trying to shake it off. 3-1. Strike 2. Count goes full.
That was a really good pitch by Dowley that time. 93-mile-an-hour fastball moving in on Snyder.
Three and 2. Big pitch for Cannon Dowley. I'll tell you what, it's not easy being a fan tonight. Foul balls are pelting everybody. They're breaking lights. Showering debris down below. You're safer on the field.
Well, on that play, both runners were stealing. They sent both runners on the play.
See what they do here. Full count. Runners go again. Hit and runs on. Madron comes in to score. Carmichael's going to score from first. Snyder stands up at second base. And it's now 5-0 Oklahoma. A good piece of hitting by Michael Snyder.
Well, I'll say that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was high in the zone. Watch where this location is. Right down the middle, but 95 miles an hour. You know, these guys are good hitters. You're not going to get them out with some smoke. And you can see Snyder just crushed it to the wall for 2 runs batted in.
More activity down to the BYU pen. Cooper Vest and Colin Reuter out to visit here in the 5th. Gave up 2 in the 4th. And there's still nobody out. And Anthony McKenzie comes to the plate. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, game 2 of this 3-game series. McKenzie flashes bunt, backs out for ball 1. 9 hits already for the Sooners. 5 runs in, they've left 4 on base. Those 3 strikeouts, Mason Olson has his fingerprints all over those. Dowley comes in with a good pitch, strike 1. 93 miles an hour on that one. One and 2. No wind to speak of. Just a spectacular spring night here in Provo, Utah. Bounces in front of Reuter. Throw to thirds, not in time. Snyder's in safe. Two and two, nobody out.
Well, the BYU infielders are in, trying to cut the runner off the plate, and they're switched around with a shift. Shortstop is on the second base side. That's Watkins, and there's a look at him right there. They're all playing in to cut the run off at the plate.
2-2 pitch to McKenzie. Another foul ball. 9 hits for the Sooners, just 1 for BYU. Came in the first inning. Three and two. Fouled away again. McKenzie putting up a nice fight.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch to foul off. It was up a little bit and away, 94 miles an hour. And McKenzie just got a little bit of a piece of it and stays alive up there.
Pops it up. Down the line. Foul ball. Jones trying to make a Category 5 catch from over the head. Couldn't quite corral it.
Yeah, that was a catchable ball with a shift on there. It was a nice effort by Jones, but it went on the other side of him. He turned and it went on his opposite side.
Back to 3 and 2 we stay. Fouled away again. See the crowd still assembling. A nice one here on a Thursday night. First time the Sooners have come to Provo, and likely the only time as they move on to the Southeastern Conference next year. 3-2 pitch. Another one. Kendall Pettis is on deck for Oklahoma. Ball 4. Third time McKenzie's been on base in 3 at-bats. And that brings up Pettis.
Well, McKenzie was the primary shortstop back in the 2021 season for Sam Houston State. And now he's moved over to third base where Jackson Willits is the all-time shortstop here.
Chance to knock in some more. Ground out, and he got hit by a pitch. Into the screen again. Hitting 256. Senior out of Chicago, Illinois. Probably a Cubs fan.
I think he's a White Sox fan.
I don't think so. Gets the inside corner, 0-2. Dowley gets in position. Snyder at third, McKenzie over at first. Double play opportunity, out at second, onto first. And they get them both. Snyder scores. It's 6-0 Oklahoma. And there are 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a made-to-order double play. Nice feed that time by Robinson. Over to shortstop Watkins. Quick throw, and Pettis gets down that line pretty quickly. And watch how close this is over at first base.
Taps
Bang,
that
bang.
bag at second with his right foot. Pop out and a sacrifice bunt for the junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia.
Yeah, Mudler was the hero on Sunday's game and recorded the walk-off RBI single to score Anthony McKenzie. And he kept the Schooners on top of the Big 12 standings at 11-4. So had a key hit Sunday, a walk-off single.
Standing catcher. Down on the count 0-2. And 3 pitches sends him back to the dugout after the Sooners score 3 runs. It's now 6-0 Oklahoma. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
And you can see BYU wins 1 of the 3, and the BYU baseball team went into Texas a little over a week ago and won 2 out of 3 there. So you know, they're playing some good ball, and they could have won 2 games at Baylor. So they just are coming up against a really tough pitcher here in Braden Davis, and see if they can make any adjustments.
Been a mixture of the good, the bad, and the ugly for BYU in the last couple of weeks. Here's Brock Watkins. He struck out his first time on. That's been a running theme for Davis, and he has Watkins fooled on the first pitch. Great night to be a pitcher that's on target. Temperature around 55. Here's Watkins to left field. Hits it deep, and it's gone. First home run in a couple of seasons for Brock Watkins. And he'll trot around the bags. The Cougars with their second hit and their first run. And it's 6-1.
Well, Watkins was running around to first. He was watching that ball, seeing where it's going to go. And he's watching so much he missed the bag over at first. So he had to retreat and go back and get it. But that ball was crushed by Brock Watkins. First home run on the season. That ball was up right down the middle. And you really can't see it here, but as he goes over first base, he misses it. And he has to retreat and goes back and tags it. So first run for BYU.
Riker Herdsman at the plate and outside for Davis. Well, the first sign that Davis is a human. Here's Hertzman, and he's got a base hit. Takes a big turn at first. Back to the bag, back-to-back hits for BYU. And that duo of hits starts the bottom of the 5th. So the Cougars trying to get something going here.
And both those pitches have been up. You know, Davis has been so accurate with that outside change curve. And those pitches have been up, and the Cougar hitters are starting to time them a little bit here.
Drew Robinson drew a walk his first time out. Herdsman, not much of a leadoff over at first. Ball 1. A little momentum in the ballpark as the Cougars show some life on offense. 1-1.
You can hear some of the Oklahoma fans. They're cheering their pitchers on. They called him BD. Initials for Braden Davis. So BD finally got hit by the Cougars for a couple hits this inning.
Robinson, just a lazy fly ball out there to center field and into the glove of Jason Walk. 1 away.
Well, you can see Walk has a lot of range out there in center field. He always give way to the center fielder. If he makes the call, he makes the catch.
Cougars getting much better contact at the plate this inning than they have in the previous 4. Foul ball bounces around the Oklahoma dugout. Herdsman with good speed over at first. Anderson's on deck. Scow with 9 hits on the season, including a triple. Chopper over to third. McKenzie out at second. Safe at first. 2 down.
Yeah, that ball was hit a little bit too slowly to turn a double play with the speed of Riker Scow. It was a nice feed over there to McKenzie. Made a nice throw over to second. Lane came off the bag quickly, but Scow, you can see the speed down there, legs it out.
Luke Anderson, a couple of strikeouts so far tonight. He's back up with 2 outs here in the 5th. Scow with good speed at first. Anderson looks at a strike. Oklahoma earlier this season beat number 9 Tennessee, and they swept TCU, and the Horned Frogs were ranked number 12, and that was in Fort Worth among their notable wins. One and one. 2 and 1. Easton Jones on deck if Anderson can get on board. 2 and 2. You see with Anderson, it's such a wind-up, long swing.
And that changeup has just kept Anderson off balance today, and a lot of Cougar hitters.
2-2. Holds off, and the count goes full.
I saw the graphic just a second ago. 8 strikeouts in 4 innings, 4+ innings.
Here's the 3-2 with 2 outs. Scow over at first. Anderson to center. Walk running in. Can't make the play. Scow turns the corner at third. He's coming in. Play at the plate. Safe. And it's 6-2. And Anderson gets the single. And he's at first.
Well, since it was 3-2, Scow was running on the pitch. Look at that location outside, and for the first time they were able to go after that. Look at the dive out there by center fielder Jason Walk. Just misses it. A great effort. Good throw home. But Scow shows his speed off there and scores a second run. RBI for Luke Anderson.
Easton Jones, a single and a walk. And Butler's going to go out and talk to his pitcher Davis, who has been hit hard for the first time tonight. The Cougars with 2 runs in. There's those 8 strikeouts you were talking about, Gary. 3 left on base. But they are back in it. Down by 4 with their most powerful swinger coming to the plate. A little bit of a breeze heading out to center field. Anderson also with good speed over at first. Outside.
I can see Davis has struggled with his control this inning. He's got pitches up. There's the flag blowing out from home plate towards center field.
One and one. .23 runs batted in, 9 home runs for the sophomore out of Lehigh, Utah. 1-1 pitch. Left field. He got a lot of it. Did he get enough? No, but it bounces high off the wall. Anderson comes around the corner. He's heading home. Here's the throw. Safe. Jones with a double, and it's 6-3.
Well, the bats are alive here. Look at this pitch location. Up. And you can see Easton Jones gives it a ride. I thought this might be out of here, but it hits the base of the fence out in left field. And when Pettis comes up with it, he hits the cutoff. And that's Isaiah Lane. And the throw doesn't get Anderson with his speed, and that'll be an RBI.
Reuter 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Comeback pitch by Davis. It's like a prize fight. You know, one fighter's in command and all of a sudden gets stunned by a jab, and then it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah, the hitting is contagious. And you can see there that a couple pitches this inning, Davis has lost his location a little bit, and BYU batters have made it pay for it.
1-1 to Reuter. Ball 2. Another nice block by Mudler. Two and one with 2 outs. Now 2-2.
Well, there's still no movement in the Oklahoma dugout. Coach Johnson's going to give him a chance here to get through this 5th inning to be in a position to win this game if it happens that way.
2-2. Now the count's full. Cooper Vest is on deck if Reuter can find his way on. Three-two pitch. Davis wants to get out of the inning. Here it comes. Strike 3. Nice comeback by the junior out of Keller, Texas. That's 9 strikeouts for Davis, but BYU strikes for 3 in the bottom. 3 runs in the 5th, and we begin the 6th inning. 6-3 Oklahoma. Spectacular spring night. Willits is at the plate to lead it off for Oklahoma. Camden Daly continues to throw. He came in after Mason Olson went out injured in the 3rd inning. Strike 2. Daly throwing with a little more confidence. It's amazing. If your offense gives you a little bit, how motivating that can be to go back out there.
Absolutely. And he's a good hitter right here.
Lets that one go by. 1-2.
Jackson Willits went to Fort Cobb Broxton High School in Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, and he was the 2023 Player of the Year as a shortstop.
Outside, 2-2.
He batted .620. How's that for a good season? 8 home runs, 42 steals, and he was the valedictorian of his graduating class.
His dad is on the staff for the Sooners, and said he hit his first career professional home run right here at Miller Park back in the day.
That's pretty good. And you could even hear when we talked to the manager Skip Johnson, he was talking about Reggie Willits standing shoulder to shoulder with him, and
Yeah,
great coach, great player.
This Willits has hit 5 home runs over the last 7 games. He's got some power. Jones knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first in time. What a scoop by Vest to save the effort by Jones. 1 away.
Yeah, the ball was hit hard, and as a third baseman at the hot corner there, you got to knock it down, which Easton Jones did, and he's got a good arm. And you can see the rocket arm over there, and that ball was far enough in front of Cooper Vest to make a good scoop on it and get the out.
Isaiah Lane going after the first pitch. Single and a fly out.
Lane is a freshman. Went to Eastlake High School. He was the team captain and the team offensive player of the year.
Into center field. Herdsman backing up. Makes the catch. And there's 2 down.
You can see he's got his sunglasses on. They're over his head. He's pointing up at the sun right there. And I was wondering if he should be wearing those still, because the sun out there in that spot where he just ran to is right in his eyes.
Maybe when you make a catch like that and you don't have your sunglasses on, your story gets better out there. You know, he's telling his teammates a couple of things after making the grab. I couldn't see a thing. I was fighting the sun. Throw my glove up.
Well, he's played at this park enough, and he's been in center field enough to know what it's like out there at this time of the evening.
Luke Anderson's like, hey, why don't you put your sunglasses on? This one, high into left field. Scow waiting for it, makes the catch. Sooners go 1, 2, 3. Cougars take a little momentum into the bottom of the 6th inning. Oklahoma 6-3 here in Provo. And then Watkins. Vest and Aloy are combined 0 for 4. The last time Watkins was up, hit a home run.
You can see the pitch count by innings there. 25 pitches last inning when the Cougars finally got a number of hits and scored 3 runs.
Ball 1. Vest with 8 home runs last season. He has 7 so far here in 2024. Fooled on that. Beautiful pitch, strike 1. Women's tennis, Texas Tech eliminates BYU from the Big 12 championships. As we mentioned earlier, Oklahoma defeated Baylor this afternoon to advance. 2-1 to Vest. It's that time of year, championship season, spring sports. Baseball still plows right into the end of May. The top 10 teams in the league will go to Dallas and battle for the league title. Wide open this year. Everyone's still waiting for TCU to make a move. The preseason favorite, been in the bottom half of the standings the whole year, or at least since conference play started. We'll see what they've got. 2-2 to Vest. Right now, Oklahoma and West Virginia are tied for first place. Strikeout number 10 for Davis.
When you take a look at this pitch, there's his changeup again, out of the strike zone. And of those strikeouts, I would say 75% of them have been swings outside of the strike zone. But Davis just has that ability to throw it where he wants to throw it. And when he gets out of that strike zone, it looks good. And you got to swing to protect, but it's tough to hit.
Aloy, a couple of strikeouts tonight. He has yet to be able to solve Davis. 1-1.
That's the 89th pitch on the day for Braden Davis. Got a little bullpen action out there now.
One and two. Freshman getting an education up there at the hands of Braden Davis. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. Fastball, slider, curve, and a change. That's in the bag for Davis. 2-2. And we'll do it again. Full count.
Let's see him taking a couple deep breaths there. 93 pitches.
Outside. Patient at bat by Aloy. Wins a walk.
And that will get the bullpen stirring a little bit. 94 pitches on the day for Braden Davis. That's a lot. There's a couple guys getting up to throw.
Brock Watkins homered his last time up. Now he steps in with Aloy over at first.
That's Reed Hensley, the junior right-handed pitcher. Number 42 warming up in the pen.
Davis looks over at Aloy at first and comes into Watkins. Ball one. One out here in the bottom of the sixth. Watkins started the offense in the fifth. And now we're going to have a meeting of the mound. Skip Johnson is the head coach and pitching coach. He was a pitching coach for a year before he got the head job. And it's what he does. He said he's been blessed to have great guys on his staff that can worry about all the other stuff. And he can go down to the bullpen and work with his pitchers. That formula has turned out an 11-4 Big 12 record so far this season.
Well, you go back to 2022, a couple years ago. A total of 11 players were selected in that 2022 Major League Draft, including pitcher Cade Horton, who was picked 7th overall. And he became the third first-rounder in Johnson's tenure, joining Kyler Murray, who was 9th overall in 2018, the quarterback there, and pitcher Cade Cavalli, 22nd overall. And here's the other guys. Pitcher Jake Bennett, shortstop Peyton Graham were chosen in the second. Jimmy Crooks went in the fourth. But 11 players off of that team drafted.
Big swing by Watkins. And it's 1-1 with one out. Inside, 2-1. Riker Hertzman on deck for BYU. Watkins out to right. Madron waits for it, makes the catch. 2 down. That'll bring Hertzman up. Wind picking up a little bit to straightaway center field. Hertzman with 4 home runs on the year. Get it up in the jet stream and get a boost to get out of here. Aloy over at first now with 2 outs. Strike one. Hertzman not too convinced that cut the inside corner. Outside. Might be getting a little tired. Davis has put on a show with 10 strikeouts. He's got a 3-run lead.
100 pitches. So once you get that 100 pitch count, you're probably on just a very short string.
Hertzman hoping he can catch him with a mistake here. 1-2. Strikeout and a single tonight for Hertzman. One-two pitch. Got him. Not even close. That's the kind of night Davis has had. Outside of a bad inning in the 5th, he has been in command. 7th inning coming up. Back in Provo, 7th inning. 6-3 Oklahoma. And BYU's got a new pitcher, Hayden Kuhn. 6'2" junior out of Yucaipa, California. Comes in with a fastball up near 92, a slider and a change. Few starts under his belt. He's 1-2 on the year. 3.54 ERA. And Bryce Madron will face him first for Oklahoma. Strike by Kuhn. Sooners got 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 3 more in the fifth. BYU with all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the fifth. Strike, 1-2.
Madron went to Cowley College in Arkansas City, Kansas, and then last year at Oklahoma, he was all Big 12 honorable mention.
Junior College Player of the Year there in 2022.
Yeah, and he started 60 games last year, batted .320 with 51 runs batted in, 12 home runs.
2-2. Kuhn comes in high. Carmichael on deck for Oklahoma. And he loses him. Up 0-2, and Madron battles back and wins a walk, heads to first. Keep an eye on him.
31st walk of the year for Madron.
Gives him 92 for his career.
Boy, 9 for 10 in stolen bases.
Got to figure he'll challenge Colin Reuter. Behind the plate. BYU sensing it. Carmichael's been on base all 3 times tonight. It reached on an error and then has answered with a pair of singles. Again, they go back. Cougars in no position to give up any more runs. And the Sooners with their #1 run scorer on the bags with nobody out. Good pitch by Kuhn. Lots of distractions when you got a speed burner over there at first.
Well, you got a lot of speed burners over there for Oklahoma. You look at their first 3 hitters, 9 for 10, 9 for 10, 7 for 10. Then you go to 4 for 4, 3 for 3, and 7 for 9. So they run a lot.
Here he goes. Hit and run is on into center field in front of Herdsman. And one first and second with nobody out. And Carmichael's on the bags for the 4th time tonight. Herdsman playing awfully deep.
Well, you have to respect that. Carmichael has a lot of power, and Hertzman made a nice little fake there. He faked like he was going to catch the ball, and that kind of held up Madron after he was stealing and kept him at second base.
10 hits for Oklahoma, 5 for BYU. Here's Michael Snyder. Doubled his last time up. He's 2 for 3 tonight. His first look at Hayden Kuhn. That's off the plate. Mason Olson started tonight for the first time all season and was knocked out of the game with an injury in the 3rd inning. Typically 7th, 8th innings would be Mason Olson time. Kuhn comes in with a strike, 1-1. Hayden Kuhn is hoping for a double play ball right here. Nobody out and 2 on. Got a lot of shenanigans on the base. You hear Oklahoma calling for a balk. Carmichael had run about halfway from first to second while Madron was leading off at second. And Oklahoma trying to trick Kuhn into a mistake.
Well, what they said is they were saying he stepped off. That's why it wasn't a balk. And the coach didn't seem to be agreeing with that call.
1-1. Knocked down by Watkins. Can't get it out of his glove. Oh, they'll call him out at second base. And Carmichael saying he might want to challenge that. What a stop by Watkins. And then it was all he could do to get the ball out of his mitt. He got him.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good call. Great play by Watkins to even get to that ball and and then just gets it out of his mitt in time to save a run. And with first and third, still keeps a double play in position. But there's a catcher sign from Reuter, just saying how they're going to play if the runner does attempt to steal second base.
McKenzie's been on base all 3 times. Pair of singles and a walk. Critical moment in this game for BYU defensively. And a chance to strike right back for Oklahoma. Comes in low. Snyder screaming off that bag at first, trying to distract Kuhn. He's getting a good lead. 1-0. Now he goes. And the fake. Snyder's into second. That takes away any chance at a double play. 1-1 to count.
And that'll bring the infield in for BYU.
This is where Kansas and Baylor delivered timely hits in their respective series here in Miller Park. Ball 2. Kendall Pettis is on deck. Slow roller to first. They got to come home quick. Safe. Madron scores 7-3. And the runners at first and third, and BYU may ask for a look here.
Well, what's interesting is he hit it instead of with his foot, he hit home plate with his hand. So because he hits it with his hand, we'll see that's close. That angle, you cannot tell enough to overturn it.
Skip Johnson's out of the Oklahoma dugout. Asking, well, hey, what's going on? They're going to look at it and see if we got a different angle.
Yeah, they're talking about if there was obstruction there by the catcher, which is why the Madron had to slide around him there and touch it with his hand. But I don't.
Well, they ruled him safe anyway. Why would they even look at that?
Yeah, well, it's certainly the coach of Oklahoma is not looking at this.
No, I don't see obstruction there. Let's see.
No.
All right, these are the best 2 looks we got.
No, he's
Awfully
safe.
close, but
He's safe. He got the hand in there.
So our crew's over looking at it. A free out also over there at first base. So they come home, miss the runner, and everyone's still safe.
It's the right play. If the throw would have been just a little bit lower, they would have had a chance there. But Madron was running on contact, so wherever it was hit, he was going to be coming home.
Here's the situation for Arlington. Top 10 teams make the tournament. BYU currently 2 games back of UCF. Safe at the plate, as we expected. 7-3 Sooners with just the 1 out and a chance to get some more. Snyder's over at third and McKenzie's at first.
Well, you're probably going to have the same situation here. Reuter's saying what he's going to do, and we just haven't seen a BYU throw down and do like the cutoff play. Maybe the shortstop comes in front of the second baseman or vice versa to try to get the runner out there at second.
A throwback to first, and this is going to take care of that. Snyder comes in to score. McKenzie's over to second, and it's 8-3 Oklahoma. All the strategy in the world doesn't matter if you're going to do that. And the Sooners now with 2 runs across. And Pettis at the plate. And that gets a piece of Reuter. Pettis with a ground out, was hit by a pitch, then came back up, grounded out again. And the Sooners have pushed their lead back to 5 here in the 7th.
Well, last season, Pettis was academic All Big 12 and All Big 12 honorable mention. Played in 54 games, had 53 starts. Started 41 games in the outfield and 12 games as the DH. Batted .309.
Outside, 1-1. McKenzie bouncing around second base. In with a strike, 1-2. That's a good looking pitch. Strike 3. And there's 2 down. Pettis coming back from the home plate appearance looking confused. Scott Muddler goes back up. Pop out, sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout. McKenzie stays at second.
Muddler's a junior, 6'2", about 215. Went to Chattahoochee High School, Johns Creek, Georgia. Then he went to Northwest Florida State College.
1-0 pitch. In low. 2-0. Cougars got a punch in the gut in the third inning. And they lost Mason Olson to appeared to be an arm injury. It's been a fight ever since. 2-1.
Yeah, after Mason Olson left, starting in the fourth inning, Oklahoma scored 2, then 3, then 0, then 2 right now.
Here's the 2-1. Two and 2 with 2 outs and 2 runs in here in the inning. Lots of 2s. Center field. Herdsman underneath it. Makes the catch. The Sooners lead 1, but they score 2. Bottom of the 7th coming up. And the advantage is back to 5 on Big 12 now on ESPN. Game 1 of our 3-game weekend series. And look who keeps on going. It's Braden Davis back out for some more. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings.
And we're thinking this might be his last batter since the leadoff hitter, Crew Robinson's a lefty. They're going to leave Braden Davis in for 1 batter here. And our guess is they'll probably bring a reliever in due to the high pitch count.
And we usually guess pretty good.
Yeah, we're good guessers.
You know?
Yeah, we're pretty lucky.
We've seen a right-hander warming up for about a half hour down there. Strike to Robinson. Walking a fly out tonight. His average now done under 200. 1-1. Now fouled up by the road. 1-2. One thing BYU has learned in this first season in the Big 12 is they're just going to keep coming. The opponent's bats, they're just going to keep coming. And they get 3, Sooners come back for 4. Just the same kind of a thing as little pop down the line. Lane's got the catch, and Robinson's out. And there's 1 away.
There it is. There's the sign for the righty.
Skip Johnson is out to make a pitching change. What a night for Braden Davis. And he'll leave with a 5-run lead, double-digit strikeouts, in good position to pick up his 4th win of the season. talking to his head coach and the rest of the guys. Reed Hensley's coming out. Before Reed gets to the mound, let's look at the work done tonight by Braden Davis, who has been outstanding. Count them up, Gary. Strike out one after the other.
And of these strikeouts, watch how many are not in the strike zone. There's 2 of them, a little bit outside. That one's a beautiful pitch. Such a great change curve. There's a little outside, a little low, high.
Hensley is 6'1" out of Lufkin, Texas. Stopover at Tyler at Junior College. And Hensley may be a superstar, but there's no question over on the BYU side, they are happy to see Davis leave the game.
Yeah, that was just that was a great effort. It was just a great, well-pitched game, and tip your hat to Braden Davis there. Had a great game.
Cougar offense stymied with strikeouts. Left 5 on base. Had a few opportunities. And those 2 runs the Sooners brought across in the top of the 7th, really giving Hensley's comfort zone.
And Hensley came out of Lufkin High School in Lufkin, Texas. He was the high school defensive player of the year in 2021. Then he went to the University of Incarnate Word for 2021. Went to Tyler Junior College, and now he's very successful here at Oklahoma in his number of appearances.
Riker Scow will get his first pitches. Scow 0 for 2 so far tonight. Inside and high, 92 miles an hour. This one down the middle. 1-1. That went inside, 2-1.
That pitch wasn't that far off the plate. It was close to being a strike, but since Mudler missed it, he's not able to frame it, and the umpire calls it a ball.
3-1. Foul away, counts full. Now the 3-2 for Hensley. And Scow goes to right field. Madron running over and shows off his wheels.
Boy, that was a beautiful catch out there by Bryce Madron. This ball was slicing away from him out there. He had to run back deep to the warning track, catch it right in front of the fence there at the 343 sign there. So nice speed out there. And running that thing down, Bryce Madron, the right fielder.
Luke Anderson singled his last time up. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Gets the corner. 1-1. Anderson trying to swing his way out of the doldrums that he has been mired in the last couple of weeks. And single his last at bat. You could tell it brought him great relief over there at first base. Now he's back at it. See if he can put 2 hits together. 2-1. Pops it up. And into the crowd. 2-2. Those are the tough ones. They go up a mile high, pick up some speed on the way down.
And they're curving back towards the field as they come down.
I'm always by the guy who puts his hands out. I got it, and at the last minute pulls them away. and it comes. Here's a 2-2. Strike 3. Hensley does his job. 8th innings coming up. Oklahoma leading by 5 here on Big 12 now on ESPN+. Oklahoma trying to pick up their 12th conference win, and for the moment move into first place all by themselves in the Big 12. Boston Mabius, the latest Cougar out of the bullpen. 2-0 on the year, an ERA of 9. 18 strikeouts to a dozen walks. Mabius, a junior out of Henderson, Nevada.
Well, the first batter up for Oklahoma is going to be Jackson Willits, and Jackson's dad, Reggie, coached with the Yankees. He was assistant coach with the New York Yankees, and he was selected by the Los Angeles Angels in the 7th round of the 2003 draft, and he played 6 seasons with the Angels, batted .258, and he finished 5th in American League Rookie of the Year voting in 2007. So his dad was quite a player, and he's quite a coach.
First pitch, scooped up by Jones, and he retires Willits, 1 down. BYU is just 6 of 11 in the Big 12. 6-8 here at Miller Park. And it's been a while since they've grabbed a win in the Big 12. They lost 6 straight conference home games. Strike 1 to Isaiah Lane. We say, you hear football coaches all the time saying that defense travels, goes on the road. Pitching travels. Sometimes hits don't, but if pitching does, you're in it.
Absolutely. And that's what we saw from Kansas. Kansas came into here and their pitchers just shut down the Cougars' bats. Baylor, their pitching staff was fairly good, but BYU hit them all over the place in the final game, and they had that second game 4-3 with 2 outs and a grounder at the 3rd and an error, and lost it in extra innings. So the pitching from Baylor was good, but it was nothing like Kansas. And now we'll see what Oklahoma's like. I'm sure if they're anything like Braden Davis, they're special.
Yeah, Baylor brought their offense when they came to town. 18 runs in that finale. Down the line and foul. Baylor scored 10 last Friday to win win 8-5 in 10 innings. The Cougars just couldn't get them out. 2-2. Good pitch. Mabius strikes out Lane. 2 down.
Beautiful curveball, 82 miles an hour. Sharp break on it. Watch this location. Comes down and in. Beautiful. Not where he catches it, it's where it crosses the plate.
Jason Walk has played a nice center field. Back up to the plate, and he's looking for his first base hit. He's going to have to wait a little longer. Quick inning by Mabius. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. BYU needs 5 to tie. And we're back with more in Provo after this. Big 12 standings, Oklahoma. Get that 12th win tonight. We'll hop over West Virginia. Most of the Big 12 series get going tomorrow. And BYU trying to stay out of last place. with Houston. Hensley continues to throw for Oklahoma and bounces in ball one to Easton Jones. Now ball two. BYU needs base runners. Ball three. And ball four. So a patient at bat for Jones, wins a walk on 4 pitches. And that's the 4th time on base for Jones tonight. Hensley seemed taking a breath. Now he'll set his sights on Colin Reuter, who's 0 for 3. Comes in with a strike. Into left field. First hit for Reuter. Jones over to second. And they're at first and second with nobody out.
This is a curveball right here. Hanging curveball. And Reuter just rips it between short and third.
Cooper Vest comes up. He went 0 for 3 against the lefty. Here's his first at bat against a righty.
And already Skip Johnson puts his right hand up, which means the reliever coming in from the pins, the righty.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back and introduce the new arm. BYU trying to put something together here in the bottom of the 8th on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Lay the foundation for your future while helping build Florida's tomorrow with a career in road and bridge construction. Dive into a role with competitive pay, paid overtime, and great benefits. From hands-on work to leadership positions, we're paving the way for your success. Build more than a job. Build a life.
Carson Atwood has been called on to clean up the 8th inning. BYU with runners at first and second, nobody out. Atwood's a senior out of Ardmore, Oklahoma. ERA of 4.15. This is his 15th appearance. 8 walks, 17 strikeouts. That's the stat Skip Johnson likes the most. Few walks, lots of strikeouts.
Yeah, you got to love that. He made 12 relief appearances in 2021, 26 appearances and a start in 22, and 22 appearances in 23 with 3 starts. So, number of appearances. Very experienced senior out there trying to close this game out for Oklahoma.
Patient at bat by Easton Jones. Won him a walk on 4 pitches. Reuter slapped a single in the left. Here comes Vest with Aloy on deck. Atwood looks in. Vest goes after the first one. Strike one. Foul down the line and out of play. Here's the 0-2. Over to first. Runners move over. Snyder gets the out, and there's one away.
Well, you see Cooper Vest hustling down that line. Snyder got it fairly deep out there at first base and didn't have far to go. So Vest gets 2 runners over, puts him in a situation where a base hit here could make the score 8-5.
Vest 0 for 4 tonight. Here comes Aloy. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. And here's his first look tonight against the right-hander. A right-hander. Jones at third and Reuter at second. Strike on the corner. One and one. Watkins, who has a home run tonight, is on deck for BYU. Cougars looking for that elusive key hit. 1 and 2 to Aloy.
You go back to the 5th inning when they scored all 3 of their runs. They did a number of those runs with 2 outs, so they had some key hits in that inning.
Two and two.
Good job by Butler. You hear the fans and the players yell mud. That must be his nickname.
Two from Atwood. Inside, and the count goes full.
Well, it was close. You saw Casey Moser, the home plate umpire, just about raised that right arm up there, but held it back.
Here's a 3-2. And Aloy to right field. Waiting for it's Madron. Jones tags from third and scores. Reuter over to third, and it's 8-4. A sacrifice fly by Aloy, and his 30th run batted in on the season.
Yeah, Aloy hit that one hard, but it went right at Madron, who was playing deep out in right field. So both runners moved up to get the sacrifice fly, and now runner on third for Watkins here. Score 8-4 with 2 outs.
Watkins with a strikeout, a home run, and a flyout.
And you can see the shift is on against Watkins here. And it's kind of interesting because Watkins is the type of player that often goes to right field. He's able to take that outside pitch and shoot it to right.
One and one. Fouled right back into the screen. Now 1 and 2. Advantage Atwood. Colin Reuter over at third base. And Watkins finds a hole into right field. Reuter comes in to score. And it's 8-5. An RBI single for Brock Watkins.
That's what we're talking about. Watkins has that ability to go to the right side. And with that shift on right there, he put it right to where the second baseman normally would be. And gets the base hit. Outside pitch, goes to right with it. That's something Watkins has been able to do his entire career here at BYU. And easily gets through there for an RBI single.
Hertzman will step in. 7 hits tonight for BYU to 10 for Oklahoma. Hertzman is 1 for 3.
Well,
No strikeouts and a single.
interesting thing here, Dave. If Hertzman gets on, it brings the tying runner to the bat. So 8-5 here, down by just 3. They've closed the gap, and this is becoming a very interesting and good ball game.
Atwood looks into the dugout as his head coach, who's the pitching coach. Now he gets ready. And Hertzman down in the count 0-2. Watkins over at first. 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Ball 1. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Game 2. BYU and Oklahoma. And Saturday, we're at 3 Eastern. All right here on Big 12 now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Hertzman goes after it and strikes out again. 3rd time Hertzman has struck out tonight. Cougars leave 1 to get 2. 9th innings coming up. 8-5, Oklahoma.
Their baby's tired.
Yeah, Mom looks tired too.
Yep.
8-5. Oklahoma with the lead. Boston Mabius continues on the hill for BYU. And Bryce Madron, who had a nice catch out in right field, comes to the plate. A walk his last time up, for that a double. No home runs tonight for Oklahoma. We watched them just belt out one after the other during batting practice, but it hasn't been the liveliest park for the long ball tonight. Watkins got one just over the wall, and that's it. 2-0. And Reuter has taken a beating tonight, and he gets up to try and walk that one off. Played first base on Tuesday to give his body a rest, and Parker Goff was behind the plate. Tonight it's Reuter, and he's going to be sore tomorrow. 2-1 to count.
Yeah, and we had Coach Pratt on the phone that one inning, and you'd asked him, what do you think about Reuter over at first base? And he said, well, he was a shortstop in high school. So he has the ability to play any position out there, and just an all-around very good athlete.
Maybe a sin with a strike, 2-2. Ball 3, full count.
That was a good pitch that time, 82-mile-an-hour curveball on the outside part of the plate, and Madron just sticks his bat out to stay alive.
Three and 2. This one to right, and Anderson waiting for it. One down. Sooners with a dozen hits. 8 runs, 6 strikeouts. They've left 5 on base. But they're up by 3.
Well, they're a good hitting team. They came into this game with a team batting average of over 300, 309. That's pretty impressive there.
Ball 1. They got a piece of Reuter again.
And saying, Coach, put me back at first.
BYU has not been able to get Easton Carmichael off the bases. He's reached on an error and then 3 singles. 1-1. It's his first go-round with Mabius, who's looked sharp out of the pen. Temperatures down in the 50s. Be perfect tomorrow night and Saturday afternoon.
Carmichael is playing as the DH today, but was a great catcher in high school. He received the Texas High School Elite All-State Catcher Honors in 2022. So another great catcher behind Muddler there, who's another great catcher for Oklahoma.
Here's a 2-2. Hard hit. Watkins over to first. In time. A rocket arm from Watkins. And the first time Carmichael is denied a bag.
Well, he hit it hard, and it's one hop right in front of Watkins. He sticks the glove out, hits it, and you see the arm right there. Gets the speedy Carmichael by a half a step.
Nice stretch by Vest. There's 2 down. Snyder is back up. He's got a double tonight, a single. Reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. A little bit of everything for the graduate out of Woodland Hills, California. And former Washington Husky. Ball 2 for Mabius. Well, Washington's going into the Big Ten next year, and Oklahoma's going into the SEC. Into center field, bounces in front of Herdsman. And a 2-out single for Snyder.
What a day for Snyder. 4 for 5 on the day. So having a good one.
McKenzie will step in. Got a couple of singles tonight. Pair of runs batted in. Ball 1 from Mabius. First game these two teams have ever faced each other in the opponent's home field. Everything, all 10 neutral sites. You don't see that very often. 1-1.
Well, it's hard to get a team like Oklahoma to come here to Larry Miller Field, and because they're in the conference now, you know, they'll be here, but next year they won't be. So it's just great to see. We've seen some great teams in this Big 12. We saw it in basketball, and now we're seeing it here in baseball. Football was the same way. Every day, every game, you're going to face incredible talent, and it's just a joy to watch.
Strike 2 by Mabius. Two and 2 with 2 outs here in the 9th. Runner goes. Reuter up with the throw. And it's not close. Snyder's in safely. And the count goes full.
Yeah, Snyder got a really big jump that time. And not much of a chance for Reuter to get him.
3-2. Foul back.
It was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate. A very good pitch and a nice job of hitting by McKenzie to foul it off and stay alive.
Mabius with the 3-2 pitch. Loses him to ball 4. And McKenzie heads down to first. And they haven't kept him off the bag either tonight. That brings up Kendall Pettis. Oklahoma swinging the bat away from adding some insurance runs here in the 9th inning. Ball one. Mabius was a closer last year. And Stone Cushing coming on, and Boston slowed by an injury to start the season. Cushing just took that job. And Mabius had to kind of rewrite his role. 1-1. Now 2-1.
Here we go.
Pettis finds some space. Snyder's going to score. McKenzie over to third. A 2-out single for Pettis, and Oklahoma adds an insurance run to lead 9-5.
Well, it's the first hit on the day for Kendall Pettis, and he does it at the right time. Here in the top of the 9th, as the score gets closer, 8-5, with 2 outs, he comes through and drives in a run to put Oklahoma up 4.
Now they can get some more as Mudler comes to the plate. He's looking for his first hit tonight. There's just no easy out. That third out's been a tough one for BYU to find here in these series. Now they got Pettis picked off. Runner heading home to score, and the ball's thrown away. And another run. And it's 10-5. McKenzie's in. Pettis is over at second.
Well, it's the same thing that happened in the Baylor game. The runner got down, they got picked off, and instead of going for the runner home when he breaks, they try to get the runner that's in the hot box, try to get him out. And they need to work on that play a little bit so they can throw home as the runner breaks home.
Now Pettis is at second, and Mudler is waiting for his first pitch. Maybe this will throw it back to Watkins. Third error of the game for BYU. Errors have just killed the Cougars in these Big 12 matchups. There's ball one. And a credit to Kansas, Baylor, and Oklahoma when given an extra out or an extra opportunity. They've made the most of it. There's a strike, 1-1. Strike 2, 1-2.
You can see Mabius is working on the inside corner against Mudler with a curve and a fastball.
Here's the 1-2 with Pettis out at second. Chopper over to Robinson. Underhanded to Vest. And that's the third out. But Oklahoma adds 2 more. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It's now 10-5 Sooners here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Lay the foundation for your future while helping build Florida's tomorrow with a career in road and bridge construction. Dive into a role with competitive pay, paid overtime, and great benefits. From hands-on work to leadership positions.
Looking forward to that.
Well, what's Cosmo going to do? He's got his, Harry Potter.
It's hard to say.
There. What's he going to be for Taylor Swift?
I think these young ladies know every Taylor Swift song ever made.
Yeah.
Right in that demographic. Bottom of the 9th inning, 10-5, Oklahoma. Carson Atwood looking to close this one out. Sooners picking up 2 insurance runs in the top of the 9th. And Crew Robinson for BYU. Fouls it away. Outside, 1-1. Sooners with 10 runs on 12 hits, no errors. And BYU 5 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Right to where the shortstop was waiting, and it bounces right through Willits. And that might be the first error of the night on Oklahoma. Robinson's over at first.
Well, that time Willits, he needs to get in front of that ball. Watch how he stabs it instead of getting his body in front of this one. You move your feet, get in front of it, and then it takes a tough hop on him.
Riker Scow at the plate. Robinson does his job, finds a way to get on base to start the bottom of the 9th. Scow is 1 for 3 so far tonight.
So far on the scoreboard out there, there's the arrow. Just put the arrow up there.
Outside strike. 2-1. Three and 1. Crew McChesney is on deck for BYU. A big pitch right here for Atwood. Throw back to first, hardly a leadoff at all for Robinson. Atwood coming home. And a strike on the corner. Riker not happy with that one. Full count.
Well, Atwood kind of throws that cut fastball. Has movement on it. Moves away from right-handed hitters.
3-2. Got him swinging on ball 4. 1 away. 3-1, and Atwood battles back and gets the freshman to chase this.
Yeah, that ball's outside. Just
Look at that.
10 inches. Yep.
McChesney at the plate. He'll bat for Luke Anderson. It'll be McChesney and then Jones. McChesney, freshman out of Highland, Utah. Tremendous speed. Still settling in his first year of Division I baseball. Strike 1. 92 miles an hour.
Well, Crew was a 4-year starter at Lone Peak High School and a great football player. I remember watching the games where they would be playing Corner Canyon and McChesney was just running right by the defensive backs a number of times because he has such good speed.
1-2. That one coming in at 91. 2-2. And McChesney into center field and a base hit. Robinson over to second.
Great job of hitting that time by Crew. Nickname is Cheese. Everybody calls him Cheese. Just a heck of a great guy. And that time he fought off a 2-strike pitch. And the last couple of games he's been given the opportunity and he's come through.
Easton Jones steps in. Jones a single, a double, pair of walks. And a timeout called by Skip Johnson. And he's going to make a pitching change.
You know, Dave, 2 weeks ago, would you ever think that Luke Anderson would be pinch hit for?
It's been that kind of a couple of weeks for the leadoff man for BYU. New pitcher coming in. We'll introduce him to you after this here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. 2-1 on the season, 11 appearances, so this is number 12. 8 walks, 21 strikeouts. And he's out of the pen with the Cougars. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the ninth. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. BYU and Oklahoma right here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. And Saturday afternoon, the matinee. BYU's 8-game homestand will wrap up Tuesday against Utah. Oklahoma will go home and face Wichita State on Tuesday and get ready for the Texas Longhorns. Their last clash as far as the series goes as members of the Big 12. And the next time they meet, they'll both be members of the SEC. Unless they meet in the conference tournament, it wouldn't be a 3-game series. So the last blast with the Sooners and Longhorns in baseball is next weekend.
Well, now you got Malachi Witherspoon, went to Fletcher High School, Neptune Beach, Florida. He has a twin brother, Kyson, is on the team. And Malachi was drafted in the 12th round by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2022 Major League Draft.
A fresh arm for Oklahoma and Easton Jones at the plate. Ball 1. That one got away from Witherspoon. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled away. 96 miles an hour. Ball 2. Robinson's out at second base. Chesney's at first. They do a late check down the line, and A.J. Wendell said no, he did not go. So 2-1 the count.
Well, you can see Witherspoon has a fastball about 96, 97 miles an hour. He can bring it in that curveball. That's a sharp breaking curveball, too. So he's got a lot of stuff.
Two and two the count. Now Jones has got a battle. He's got to figure out a way to get on base. Witherspoon is ready. Three and two. Are you bringing the gas here if you're Witherspoon?
Oh, you got it. 96 mile an hour. You know, you got it. You can't walk a guy here. You cannot afford to do that, so we'll see.
3-2 pitch. And Jones turns around and heads back to the dugout. Beautiful. Strike 3, 2 down.
Well, the only question was that low. And that's what Jones is thinking right there. Nice framing job, but that looked a little bit low.
Yeah, well, shoot.
Beautiful pitch.
2 down. Colin Reuter at the plate. Strike one. 96. Oklahoma's come out here just taking care of business. Led throughout. Outside, 1-1.
See, Witherspoon's trying to keep it on the outside part of the plate, keep it away from Reuter.
Curveball comes in high, 2-1. Steps off the mound. Now climbs back up. Reuter singled his last time up. 2 on, 2 out here in the ninth. And Reuter to center field. Backtracking and gone! A 3-run home run for Colin Reuter. That's home run number 6 on the season. And BYU pulls within 2.
That was crushed, Dave. I'm having a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Reuter just turns on it. You can see the center fielder, Jason Walk, running back to try to get that, but as clear as the center field fence. Watch the location of this pitch. Too much of the middle of the plate, and Reuter just gives it a ride. And how valuable are those 2 runs that Oklahoma scored in the top of the 9th inning, looking right now? That score brings it to 10-8.
Cooper Vest comes to the plate. He'll try to keep it going. Now Witherspoon. And the umpires stop the action. And they'll reboot. Ball boy coming out to give the home plate umpire some baseballs.
And the right fielder went over to get probably the baseball came back in somehow, and he threw it back out to the stands. There's a few people watching from the right field fence.
Who throws a home run ball for the home team back out?
Looks like a Cub fan.
Vest is 0 for 4. Takes a big cut. His job is to get on base. Eloy is on deck. He represents the tying run. Popped him up. The Sooners converge. And making the catch is Willits. And Oklahoma takes game 1 of the 3-game series. 10-8. Those 2 insurance runs at the top of the 9th come back and beat BYU. 12 hits for the Sooners to go along with those 10 runs and 1 error. BYU with 8 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. Oklahoma goes to 22-14, 12-4 in the Big 12. They move into first place all by themselves. And BYU drops to 15-19, 6-12 in the Big 12, and they back into